Spirit 105.3. Is this Brandon Heath?
This sure is Brandon Heath. This is Erica.
It's Erica and Steve, and we have been so excited to talk with you. Like, I'm standing up. This is big.
Now I'm nervous. You might want to sit down.
Brandon, we just cannot get over that you climbed Mount Kilimanjaro.
How was the mountain?
Man, it was awesome. I lived through it to tell the tale. Mount Kilimanjaro is not for the faint-hearted, that's for sure.
Okay, you got to take us there. What do you mean by that?
Okay, so, Mount Rainier, you see it on a clear day in Seattle. It's up there. It's got its glaciers. It's got its snow. Add about 5,000 feet, and then you've got Kilimanjaro.
Yeah, that's another mile.
Yeah, it's another mile. And, I aspire to someday climb Rainier, but I thought, why not just cut my teeth on Kilimanjaro? So,
wow.
What about Mount Everest?
Well, I'm not really ready for Mount Everest. And the other thing is, Mount Everest, it's a traffic jam at the top. Have you seen pictures of that?
Yes.
Everybody wants to climb Mount Everest, and so you're standing at 30,000 feet. You can barely breathe, and you're waiting in a traffic jam. And I'm like, that doesn't sound fun to me at all.
Right, and plus you have those two beautiful little girls at home, and you can't be climbing Everest right now.
There's that too. That's another factor. Tell my wife that that's the first thing that I brought up was that I have two little girls at home.
Which, speaking of, my biggest question for you today is how did Mr. Penguin do? Because seeing Mr. Penguin with you on that trip, it touched my heart. I thought that was wonderful.
Yeah, what's really fun is that was absolutely my daughter's idea. It was not my idea. My 4-year-old Palmer, I was laying in bed with her, tucking her in the night before I left, and we knew it was going to be a long time away. And she offered her lovey, which is her bun bun.
Oh.
She said, Dada, will you take Bun Bun with you? And I said, oh, babe, I would love to take Bun Bun with me, but I'm afraid that I'll lose her, and she's your most treasured possession. And so she said, well, I know. You could take Penguin. And Penguin was near her bed, and she grabbed him, and so I was like, done. I'll take him with me.
Well, I'm sure he's got some stories to tell. Brandon, as you look over this trip, what is the story that you feel like you're going to be telling your great-grandkids someday?
I did not plan on climbing a mountain, but what I try to do is to always have an open mind and an open heart, and when someone invites me, to say yes. And this is one of those adventures in my life that I was invited to go on, and I said yes. It was a little bit more than I was comfortable with. I didn't have any experience. I didn't have any gear, but I have great friends, and I have great hope in Jesus that he will be with me when I do hard things, and I did it. I think that's the life lesson to pass down to my kids.
That is pretty awesome.
Yeah, I think we can do more than we know that we can.
Yes.
And it's always kind of cool to just try new things.
Brandon, let's talk about awesome. Your new song, Can't Get Enough, See Me Through. I mean, it makes you smile. You go from oh, what's happening in the world to, that's right, he's got me. I mean, thank you for this song.
You're welcome. And thank you. KCMS, you got Spirit. You guys were one of the first people to play that in the whole country. And so I really appreciate you believing in it early on. I really wanted to bring a little hope into a really potentially scary situation that we are in right now. I think for me, I was fighting a little bit against anxiety, and I know that God tells me not to be afraid. And so it was kind of fun to take the approach with this song that, hey, we're all in this same boat together, but then also to just use a line like, Jesus, take the wheel. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I think it's good to just remember that we are not alone, and we are loved, and we're going to get through this, and he's going to be with us every step of the way.
We are loved. That's something I love to type out every day. You are loved. Brandon, when was the last time you felt God's love in a real way?
Well, we've been talking about this mountain that I just climbed. I really had an experience, not really on the top of the mountain, but about midway up. I was tired, and I was feeling honestly kind of lonely, even though I was with a group of people. But I just took a little time. I put my backpack down. I looked over at where these clouds are kind of going by, and I felt small on that mountain, but I also felt as though God created all of this, number one, for his glory, but number two, for us to enjoy and for us to explore. And so for me, when I think about God as my Father and all the things that he has done for me and created for me, including myself, I feel extremely loved. I don't know if I've ever felt more loved than to know what he's done for us. So, yeah, I think that was the last time.
Yeah. I mean, when you think about it, we've got such a special season coming up. Good Friday and Easter are going to be here so soon, and love is what it's all about. So, Brandon, we would love for you to be part of our special Easter show.
What amazes you most about Easter?
Well, I think since I've had kids, every holiday seems to take on a new meaning. With us at our house, of course, there's Easter egg hunts, and that's fun.
Yes.
But for our girls, they both go to a little Christian academy, and they often bring home lessons for my wife and I that they're learning at school. And for me, I think it's one of those things that are hard to talk about with your kids, especially when it comes to death,
Yes.
I think for me, what really made an impact on the two of them is to know that, yes, Jesus died, and we talk about Jesus all the time, but Jesus rose again. And both of those things are as real as the other.
Oh.
For two little girls, it's easier for them to have that concept than it is for adults.
Yes.
That's right.
And so I usually try to learn from them in lessons like that because they believe wholeheartedly. And I do too. So it's good to share that with your kids, and I think they understand a lot more than we give them credit for.
Amen. And it's always good to have those lessons, with a chocolate bunny nearby, or two. I just recommend that.
What is the lesson? I don't know that one. What's the lesson with a chocolate bunny?
I'm just saying any lesson is better with chocolate.
With a chocolate bunny.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what the lesson is.
Okay, well, if you want to go that direction, I will tell you, I know of an Easter little activity that you can do with kids.
Okay.
So go get some PEEPS. You know what I'm talking about, the little sugar-coated marshmallow things, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Put them on a plate and stick toothpicks in their hands, like stick toothpicks to them, and they have a war. So when you turn them on in the microwave, they start to inflate, and one of the bunnies is going to poke the other bunny. With a toothpick.
I am so doing that, and I'm going to go against Steve, and my bunny's going to win. I just believe that.
I don't stand a chance.
Well, please video it because I need to see how it goes.
Will do. Brandon Heath, who just reached the summit of Mount Kilimanjaro, who has an awesome new song out. You're just a joy. Thank you for being with us.
Hey, thank you guys for having me. It's always fun, and I appreciate you playing the new song.
Thank you, Brandon.
God
You
bless
got
you.
it.
May your peep win.